March 11th, 2020. The World Health Organization declares COVID-19 a global pandemic. Within days, the world as we knew it shut down. Offices emptied overnight. Universities sent students home. Restaurants closed their doors. And in living rooms across the planet, people face the same terrifying question. How do we stay connected when we can't be together? The answer, for hundreds of millions, would be a 9-year-old video conferencing app that most had never heard of. Its name was Zoom. But this isn't just a story about a company that got lucky. This is the story of how Zoom became the most downloaded app in the world in a matter of weeks, how it nearly destroyed itself just as quickly, and how one decision by its founder saved it from total collapse. It's a story about what happens when overnight success meets unprepared infrastructure, when privacy becomes a luxury we can't afford, and when a single man's integrity is tested in front of the entire world. It all started in 1997. A young Chinese engineer named Eric Yuan is standing in line at the US Embassy in Beijing, applying for his 9th visa to America. He's been rejected 8 times. Most people would have given up. Eric tries one more time. On his 9th attempt, he gets approved. He doesn't know it yet, but that persistence will define everything about what's coming. Eric arrives in Silicon Valley with $40 in his pocket and barely any English. He joins a startup called WebEx, one of the early pioneers in web conferencing. For 14 years, he works his way up, eventually becoming vice president of engineering. But Eric has a problem. He's building software he doesn't believe in. WebEx is clunky, unreliable, and frustrating to use. Customers complain constantly. Eric pitches ideas to make it better. The company isn't interested. So in 2011, at age 41, Eric Yuan does something risky. He leaves WebEx, which had been acquired by Cisco for $3.2 billion, and starts his own company. He takes 40 engineers with him. His pitch is simple: build video conferencing that actually works. No complicated setup, no technical failures. Just click a link and it works. He names it Zoom. For the next 9 years, Zoom grows steadily but quietly. It's popular in enterprise software circles, beloved by IT departments for its reliability. But it's not a household name. Most people still use Skype or Google Hangouts for personal calls. Zoom is the tool businesses use, not something your grandmother knows about. By the end of 2019, Zoom has about 10 million daily meeting participants. Respectable, but not revolutionary. The company goes public in April 2019, and Eric Yuan becomes a billionaire on paper. Still, Zoom remains in the background of tech culture, overshadowed by the Facebooks and Googles of the world. Then 2020 arrives. January brings the first warnings about a virus spreading in Wuhan, China. By February, Italy is locking down. And then comes March. On March 11th, the same day the WHO declares a pandemic, the NBA suspends its season. Tom Hanks announces he has COVID. Stock markets collapse. And within 72 hours, the largest work-from-home experiment in human history begins. Companies with thousands of employees send everyone home with one instruction: figure out how to work remotely. Schools close, and teachers scramble to move classes online. Families separated by borders or quarantine need ways to see each other. And everyone, all at once, needs the same thing: a way to see faces through screens. Zoom is ready, or at least it seems ready. Unlike competitors, Zoom doesn't require accounts for participants. You just click a link. It works on phones, tablets, laptops. The interface is clean. The video quality is good. And most importantly, it doesn't crash constantly like other platforms. Word spreads fast. Teachers discover they can host entire classrooms. Doctors start using it for telehealth. Therapists move sessions online. Families hold virtual birthday parties, weddings, even funerals. In the first 3 months of 2020, Zoom goes from 10 million daily meeting participants to over 200 million. The app becomes the #1 download on Apple's App Store and Google Play. Zoom's stock price triples. Eric Yuan's net worth soars past $5 billion. The company that had been quietly successful for 9 years is suddenly the most essential platform on Earth. Every major news network is running stories on Zoom. Saturday Night Live does sketches about it. The word Zoom becomes a verb. People aren't video calling anymore, they're Zooming. For a few dizzying weeks in March and early April 2020, Zoom can do no wrong. But fame arrived with a reckoning. If you're enjoying how this story unfolds, don't just watch from the shadows. Subscribe. The reckoning. By mid-March, reports start emerging. Uninvited strangers are crashing Zoom calls. A high school class in Massachusetts gets disrupted by someone screaming profanities and showing pornography. A government meeting in New York is hijacked by hackers displaying swastikas. These aren't isolated incidents, it's happening everywhere. Schools, businesses, AA meetings, therapy sessions, private moments are being invaded by anonymous attackers who somehow find their way into meetings and wreak havoc. The media gives it a name, Zoombombing. The problem is simple but devastating. Zoom's default settings leave meetings vulnerable. Many hosts don't set passwords. Meeting IDs are sequential and easy to guess. There's no waiting room feature enabled by default, so anyone with a link can join instantly. The company built for ease of use has accidentally built for ease of abuse. Schools start banning Zoom. New York City's Department of Education tells teachers to stop using it. Google bans employees from using Zoom on company computers. The FBI issues a warning about Zoom bombing and recommends users take extra security precautions. Zoom scrambles to respond, issuing guidelines for hosts, but the damage to its reputation has begun. And then it gets worse. On March 26th, a former NSA hacker named Patrick Wardle publishes research showing that Zoom's Mac installer uses shady tactics to get around Apple's security prompts. It's a technique often used by malware. That same week, Motherboard reports that Zoom's iOS app is secretly sending data to Facebook, even for users who don't have Facebook accounts. Zoom quietly removes the feature, but the trust is broken. Then comes the encryption revelation. For years, Zoom had marketed itself as using end-to-end encryption. It's there in the marketing materials, in the security white papers. End-to-end encryption means that only participants in a call can see and hear what's happening. Not even Zoom itself can access the content. It's the gold standard for privacy. Except Zoom doesn't actually have it. On March 31st, The Intercept publishes a bombshell investigation. Zoom doesn't use end-to-end encryption at all. It uses transport encryption, which means Zoom itself has the technical ability to access the content of calls. For a company hosting millions of business meetings, therapy sessions, legal consultations, and doctor's appointments, this is catastrophic. The company had been misleading users about the most fundamental aspect of privacy. But there's more. Researchers at the University of Toronto's Citizen Lab discover that some Zoom calls are being routed through servers in China, even for calls between users in North America. Zoom has development teams in China, and the encryption keys are sometimes generated on Chinese servers. This means the Chinese government could potentially access call data. For a platform being used by governments, schools, and corporations worldwide, this is a national security nightmare. The headlines pile up. Zoom is a privacy disaster. Why you should stop using Zoom immediately. Zoom's security woes could be its undoing. Class action lawsuits are filed. Shareholders sue the company for misleading them. Zoom's stock, which had tripled, starts to plummet. In just 3 weeks, Zoom went from the pandemic's hero to a cautionary tale about what happens when a company scales too fast without prioritizing security. Eric Yuan has a big decision to make, one who could fix the company or send them packing from the global stage. Defiance or delivery? At this point, Eric Yuan could deflect, minimize, or make excuses. That's what most tech CEOs do in a crisis. He can blame the unprecedented growth, say nobody could have prepared for this, hide behind lawyers and PR teams. Or he can do something different. On April 1st, 2020, Eric Yuan publishes a blog post titled, "A Message to Our Users." It's not a typical corporate non-apology. He doesn't make excuses. He admits Zoom failed. He writes, "We did not design the product with the foresight that, in a matter of weeks, every person in the world would suddenly be working, studying, and socializing from home. We now have a much broader set of users who are utilizing our product in a myriad of unexpected ways, presenting us with challenges we did not anticipate." Then he makes a stunning announcement. Zoom is implementing a 90-day feature freeze. The company will halt all work on new features and dedicate every resource to fixing privacy and security issues. For a tech company in hypergrowth, this is almost unheard of. Investors want new features, new revenue streams. Competitors are gaining ground, but Eric decides that trust matters more than growth. He doesn't just make promises and disappear. Every Wednesday for the next 90 days, Eric hosts a public webinar where he answers questions directly from users, journalists, and critics. No PR filter, no scripted responses. He shows up, takes the heat, and explains what Zoom is doing. He hires Alex Stamos, Facebook's former chief security officer, as an outside advisor. He brings in cryptography experts. He enlists former Yahoo CISO Alex Stamos and other security leaders to conduct a comprehensive review. The company starts weekly transparency reports. They publish details about every security update, every vulnerability fixed, every mistake made. In early May, Zoom acquires Keybase, a company specializing in end-to-end encryption for undisclosed terms. By late May, Zoom begins rolling out true end-to-end encryption for all users, not just paid accounts. Waiting rooms become default. Passwords become mandatory. Meeting IDs get more complex. The company blocks call routing through China for non-Chinese users. Zoom enables encryption key management so organizations can control their own keys. But here's what makes this remarkable. Zoom does all of this while still growing. In Q2 of 2020, as Zoom is firefighting a security crisis, the company's revenue increases 355% year over year. They go from 10 million daily participants to 300 million. Normally, a company under this kind of scrutiny would collapse. Users would flee to competitors. Investors would panic. But something unexpected happens. People watch Eric Yuan take responsibility and they believe him. Teachers see Zoom adding better controls and stick with it. Businesses see the security updates and keep their subscriptions. By July 2020, when the 90-day freeze ends, Zoom has transformed. Independent security researchers who had been Zoom's harshest critics now praise the turnaround. Consumer Reports, which had warned against using Zoom, updates its guidance. The FBI's warnings quietly fade. Schools that banned Zoom start using it again, and the growth doesn't stop. By the end of 2020, Zoom has 470 million daily meeting participants. The company's annual revenue reaches $2.6 billion, up from $600 million the year before. Zoom's stock ends the year up 400%. Eric Yuan's personal net worth exceeds $20 billion. But this isn't just a story about money, it's about decisions. Because in that moment in April 2020, Eric Yuan had a choice. He could have done what so many tech leaders do when crisis hits: deny, deflect, lawyer up, and hope the news cycle moves on. Instead, he chose radical transparency. He chose to halt growth in favor of trust. He chose long-term reputation over short-term profit. And that decision didn't just save Zoom, it fundamentally changed what users expect from tech companies. The contrast couldn't be starker. In the same year, Facebook faced its own scandals, and Mark Zuckerberg testified before Congress, offering carefully parsed non-answers. Twitter struggled with security breaches and misinformation without clear accountability. But here was Eric Yuan, hosting weekly webinars, admitting mistakes, fixing problems in public view. The Zoom story has revealed something important about how we build technology. For years, Silicon Valley operated on a move fast and break things mentality. Growth at all costs. Apologies later. Zoom broke things, but then it actually fixed them. The company that nearly collapsed under scrutiny became a case study in crisis management. Business schools now teach the Zoom turnaround as an example of how to handle reputational damage. Security conferences analyze Zoom's 90-day plan as a model response. And users remember, when you open Zoom today, you're using software that was rebuilt under pressure, stress-tested by the entire world watching. Every security feature, every privacy control was added because Zoom listened to criticism instead of dismissing it. That's rare. That matters. There's a final twist to this story. In 2023, as the pandemic receded and people returned to offices, Zoom faced a new challenge. Revenue growth slowed. The stock dropped. Analysts questioned whether Zoom was a pandemic company that would fade as life returned to normal. But Zoom had built something that outlasted the crisis. It's still the verb we use. When someone says, "Let's Zoom," everyone knows what that means. The platform that almost destroyed itself in March 2020 survived because one man chose integrity over image. Eric Yuan, who waded through 8 visa rejections to come to America, who left a secure job to build something better, who risked everything on a 90-day bet that transparency would matter more than spin, proved that how you handle failure defines you more than success ever could. The world logged in. Hackers followed, and Zoom chose to rebuild itself in front of everyone. That's the real story. Not that Zoom got famous overnight, but that it earned its second chance the hard way. Tech decides the future, and from above, we see it all. If you want cinematic tech stories, sharp insight, and a view most channels never reach, hit subscribe. Join the owl's perch. Stay curious. The next story is already watching you.